All right, I'm going to show you how to do a simple color chart with just 6 colors by 6 colors on this 9x12 canvas board. It shows you how to lay it out. So it says 9x12. And I've already marked off the divisions for this. The divisions are, what I decided to do was leave a little bit of a frame here. So it's going to be framed a little bit so that, you know, if you're grabbing it, you won't smudging up the edges and stuff, because when I've used color charts in the past, I've often referred to them, and then sometimes you'll be painting and you'll get a little paint on your color chart. So let's make a border. So what I did is I measured, and this direction it's actually 1 inch, and I put 1 inch marks at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 inches. I put a little mark, put a mark on this side, and I put a mark on this side of my canvas. So you want 2 different marks because you're going to connect them across. Then I also put, and I think it's always a good idea to put your marks far apart so that you don't like wind up getting things, you know, crooked when you're measuring, when you're using your ruler to go across. So yeah, marks that are far apart are good. So I also measured this way, and this is more tricky. This was 1 1/4 inches. So I had to like move my ruler each time and do 1 1/4. Of course, you could do the math and be like, okay, well that's like, you know, 2 1/2 for the next one. But instead I decided to, just move my ruler because it's easier. And I did this side as well. So they're each 1 1/4 apart for this side and this side. So then you simply just want to draw across, connecting your lines. And there's one looking good. Okay, so I'm going to use this ruler to draw across, connect, connect. And what I like to do is I like to be able to see the marks when I'm doing this, because my point is actually kind of a little rough on this pencil. So see the marks just a little of your ruler and draw across. Now that doesn't look quite right, so I think this one needs to come in. I noticed that it was a little off. There, I'm going to fix that guy. And I have a nice eraser here that I can erase mistakes with. It's a white vinyl. If you don't have one like that, you know, a white vinyl eraser would be good. So then I'm going to make my next mark. Oh, it just moved, it totally moved. So you gotta be careful when you don't want your ruler moving around, and that can happen. I noticed that these aren't quite the same, so I'm gonna try to fix it. There we go. Well, it's a little wider on that side, a little thinner on this side. Measurements may not be perfect here. Oops, hold it down. Looks like it moved, so that's not good. Hold it down so it doesn't move. You know, they always say measure twice. I didn't measure twice. Well, I should have measured twice. All right, it's a close enough approximation. All right, so then we're gonna do the other direction. This way. Look for the marks. Okay. All right, so now what you want to do is label it. You can see I actually messed up on some of my labeling, and if you do mess up, just use some white paint, some titanium white paint, and you cover up any mess ups. So, but messing up is how you learn, right? So what the deal is we're leaving a border around everything. So you'll see that it kind of, you know, fits in there, right? So what that means is this space has got to be blank, and then these will be cadmium red. Okay, so I'm going to go in with pencil first because you can easily make a mistake, and then you want to be able to correct it. Even though I did actually use pencil here, but you could still see it, so I covered it with the white paint. But eventually you do want to go over this in pen because it will fade. And then you'll be like, what was that color? Okay, so yellow ochre, O-C-H-R-E. A little spelling error there. Raw umber. And I chose these colors because they're the, I needed a red, yellow, and blue because you need the primaries, right? So I have these are the main kind of red and yellows that artists will often use, even though there are definitely others out there. And I chose phthalo blue because it's particularly strong as a blue, and I didn't choose green, of course, because you can make a green. So I was trying to keep your paints minimal, but still enable you to get quite a few colors. You can see there I put meat and then I put medium. What should I do, meat or medium? Maybe I'll do medium. Okay, and then cadmium yellow medium. So the next thing you want to do is you might notice in this, oh, it's divided in two. Well, if you want, you can divide these each individually into two, or you can just paint one to the left and one to the right. Now, what are these things that I'm doing, these divisions? Well, the first one is going to be the true color, and then the next one is the color mixed with white, to show you the tinting strength of the color.